Hi there, these comments are for Rana, and I am Michael Buckoff, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-Step System to Pass the TOEFL IBT. And you made a comment at my website. Let's take a look at your specific question. So you say, hello, sir. I am a pharmacist from overseas. I have already passed a board exam, but I'm stuck in the TOEFL IBT. I've applied 10 times. My current scores are reading 10, listening 21, speaking 22, and writing 12. To be accepted by the board, I should pass with these scores, you want to say, not this. Remember, this is singular. These is actually plural. You have this, that, these, and those. So you have 22 points on the, you need to get 22 points on the reading, 26 points on the speaking, 21 on the listening, and 24 on the writing. You say, please, I need your help. Otherwise, my file on the board will be closed next year. All right, you can do this. Now, first of all, you've taken the TOEFL 10 times, and that has cost you $2,000 approximately. So don't take the TOEFL again. Take a TOEFL IBT practice test before you take the real test. And that, at least in my website, I do have an additional service where once you've gone through my lessons and studied and so on, you follow my plan, you can take an IBT practice test. It takes about 4.5 hours to take it. It's only $36, and that'll give you a good idea on whether or not you're ready to take the TOEFL IBT. So as I see it, your score right now is 65. You need to get approximately 89 to 90. You may not like what I'm going to say, but I'm going to be honest with you. You're probably looking at anywhere from 3 to 6 months of some very serious English study before you will be ready to take the TOEFL IBT exam. And remember, go through my lessons, and then when you think you're ready, then take an IBT full-length practice test at my website, see how you score, and then make a decision. For example, if you take the IBT practice test and you score 90, or you get 95 or whatever, and you do reach your goals in the speaking and the writing, then that means that you are ready to take the TOEFL IBT. All right, so what are my suggestions for you? I'm going to make 3 main suggestions. You might want to write these down. Now, it takes work. If you want tips and tricks to pass a TOEFL, you're talking to the wrong person here. What I do at my website with my students is I will help you improve your academic English language proficiency. Not just for the TOEFL, but you will be better if you need to use English, for example, in a job. If you're a pharmacist and you need to speak to people, you'll be able to speak to them more clearly. You'll have better vocabulary, better grammar. If you have to write, you will be able to write at a much higher level of proficiency. This is kind of what I do with my students. So here are my suggestions. Number 1, get in the habit, if you're not doing it already, read for about 45 to 60 minutes every day. You can read magazines, newspapers, and longer books. Number 2, also take about the same amount of time each day with listening practice. You can listen to or watch TV programs with an emphasis on news, history, documentary, and especially science programs. Now, as you're doing your reading and your listening practice, remember, this is 2 hours every day for the next 3 to 6 months. You want to get in the habit of note-taking. Focus on the main and the most important supporting points of the reading and the listening passages. And then, using your notes, you can do either one of 2 things. You can write a 250-word summary of the reading and the listening passage, or you can orally summarize that information using your notes. And of course, this is going to help you with your integrated writing and your integrated speaking practice. So these are my first 2 suggestions. Now, my third suggestion is you want to spend about 2 hours every day going through my 90-day TOEFL study guide. This is going to help prepare you by giving you lessons with vocabulary, pronunciation, grammar, reading, listening, writing, and speaking areas. So little by little, you will start building your academic English language proficiency. And of course, that means that your overall English skills are going to be much better. All right, so that would be something I'd also recommend for you in your case. Now, so those are my 3 main suggestions. Remember, you're looking at about 3 to 6 months. And once you're ready, maybe before you register to pay for the TOEFL IBT exam for the 11th time, take one of my full-length IBT practice tests first. If you reach your goals on the practice test, you're ready to take the IBT exam. If not, it means that you need to continue practicing. You see what I'm saying? Now, the way my course is designed, Rana, is I have over 630 lessons, so even in 6 months you probably will not finish all of my lessons. Now, in that 90-day study guide, you really want to focus a lot in the vocabulary area. This is going to be very important for all 4 parts of your exam. It will help you by building your vocabulary. You'll improve your reading, listening, speaking, and writing areas. Now, in the conclusion of this video, I want to go over 5 basic things to help with your reading. Remember that your reading is not very high. It's at 10 points, right? So we need to help you with this. Now, be careful. Some students have a tendency to spend more time preparing for the sections of the TOEFL they're most comfortable with. And the areas they don't like or they have the lowest scores, they don't spend that much time. But you want to spend more time in the reading and the writing areas because these are your lowest areas. But let me just go over some 5 basic tips to help you with your reading. Now, first of all, you want to make sure you follow my advice in your reading every day for about 45 to 60 minutes. Number 2, you need to build your vocabulary. That means that you want to learn the vocabulary words in my TOEFL vocabulary lesson number 3, number 4, number 5, and number 6. Number 3, you need to improve your reading speed to a minimum of 300 words per minute with about 60 to 80% comprehension. You will do this as you go through the reading lessons in my online TOEFL course. Number 4, you want to make sure that you're familiar with the IBT reading question types and the strategies for answering them. And then the 5th thing is you want to take some full-length TOEFL IBT practice tests, and you can do that by going to the 8th section of my course, and that's where you can also take full-length IBT practice tests. If you do those 5 things, you will be able to improve your reading. But, Rana, it takes time. You're looking at several months of following these suggestions. Extensive reading, building vocabulary, increasing reading speed, becoming more familiar with the reading question types and the test-taking strategies, and taking full-length IBT practice tests and reading practice tests. If you do these 5 things over a period of several months, you will start seeing some improvement with your reading. You need to get the reading at least, like you said, 22 to 23 points out of 30. All right, anyway, thank you very much for your comments. I'd love to have you as one of my students, and keep up the good work. And remember that one of the main reasons that students like to join my online TOEFL course is they want a space online to post their pronunciation, speaking, and writing practice tests. And I will actually score every writing practice test you submit, and I will give you audio comments on all the speaking and pronunciation practice tests that you submit.